welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to get out of a reading slump like a pro. I am no stranger to the reading slump. Reading slumps are so annoying because it's like, what do you mean you can't read? Like, just do it. But there's something going on where it's like, you can't read. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about my tips, tricks, and methods to get out of a reading slump. So yeah, without much further ado, let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is you want to find the cause of your reading slump. The root cause. Why can't you read right now? I've gotten into reading slumps for a multitude of reasons. One, because it could be I'm bored of the genre that I'm reading, or it's, oh, I just read a book that was so good, nothing's gonna top that, or I'm so obsessed with this book that I read that was just so good, nothing's gonna top that. Or it could be, I just read a book so bad that nothing's gonna top that. How you got into your reading slump is going to help you find the solution to getting out of your reading slump. The next thing you're going to do is tailor your solution to your problem. I'm going to go through a few scenarios so you can hopefully catch my drift, and you can help learn to tailor your reading slump solution to why you're in the reading slump. First example could be you're bored of reading what you've been reading. This could either be you've been reading a lot of one genre, you've been reading a lot of the same tropes, the same writing styles and devices. For this, you are going to have to switch it up completely, which is easier said than done. If you have been reading all fantasy for the past month, switch it up and go to thriller mystery, go to a memoir, go to a literary fiction. If you have been reading nothing but romance, which I am very guilty of, and you're in a slump because you're like, I've read about 10 romances in a row, which again, very guilty of, go read a fantasy, not a romantasy, a fantasy. Because if you're reading too much romance and you go into romantasy, it's kind of the same thing. Again, go pick up a thriller, go pick up a dystopian. The next scenario, you just read a book so good that you can't stop thinking about it and you don't want to read anything else. What I'm gonna say may be counterproductive. However, this has happened to me so much. It literally just happened to me last month with Heated Rivalry. And it may seem counterproductive, but I want you to sit with that obsession over this book. I want you to obsess over this book. I want you to do that and not read for a while. Because usually after a week, 2 weeks, you can get right back into reading and you'll be fine. However, if you're trying to read something else while you're obsessed with this one thing, you're gonna be sitting there comparing what you read to this book that you're obsessed with, and it's not gonna stack up no matter what you read. It could be the best book ever, but you're sitting there like, it's not just like this book. Like, this book is all I want to read and think about. And you're going to hate everything you read because you're obsessed with this one book. So I want you to sit with your obsession with that book. It may seem counterproductive because you're like, what do you mean you don't want me to read for 2 weeks? Like, aren't I supposed to be reading to get out of the slump? Yes. However, you're just going to slump yourself more if you continue forcing yourself to read when you don't want to be reading anything but that book. You don't want to be thinking about anything but that book. This next scenario is quite the opposite. You just read a book so bad that it has made you lose hope in literature altogether. I get it. Sometimes you read things and you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Why do I want to read more? When you're in this situation, you want to go back to why you love reading. And so you're going to reread an old favorite. And by old favorite, I'm not just meaning, oh, a book you rated 5 stars a year ago. I want you to reread a book that actually shaped you and your taste. This could be something you read in high school. This could be something you read when you first got back into reading. I want this to be a book that really shapes you. Like, for me personally, when I am in a reading slump that is caused by a book being so bad I hated it, I go back to the Shadowhunters Chronicles. Those are books that I read in high school and I loved them and they helped me refine my love for reading. I'll also go back to books that I read when I was in middle school, like Percy Jackson. Having a book that you know and love and that has shaped you, remind you of why you love reading, will help you forget that horrible, nasty book that put you in a slump. Those are just a few examples of reasons why you could be in a slump and how to get out of it. The big overall takeaway is problem solving. My next suggestion is getting something that will hold your attention. And that being fast-paced books. A thriller or mystery is typically very fast-paced, and that will help you hold your attention with the book. Romances are also typically fast-paced and will help you hold your attention. If you're in a reading slump, do not pick up Anna Karenina. Do not pick up Middlemarch. Do not pick up The Count of Monte Cristo. Do not pick up these Bible-length books that are complicated, that are going to require a lot of concentration if you're in a slump and you have no motivation to read. Because obviously, you're not going to want to read these things. That's all I have to share with you guys today. These are the most efficient ways to get out of a book slump, at least I have found in my experience of reading. If you have any more tips and tricks to get out of a reading slump, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear more tips. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!